Oh my god, ATL fam. You better sit down, grab your tea, and turn the volume all the way up because what just exploded in the season 10 premiere of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is about to blow your mind. Rasheeda, yes, the Rasheeda, the boss chick who's held it down through every storm, straight up lost IT on Yandy in a screaming, finger-pointing, table-slamming meltdown that had the entire cast frozen in shock. You knew all along about Kirk and Jasmine, and you sat there smiling in my face. Rasheeda roared, veins popping, eyes blazing with pure fire while Yandy stood there looking like she'd been caught red-handed with the receipts. The room went dead silent, then erupted, cameras shaking, producers scrambling, security on standby. This wasn't just drama, this was war. Kirk Frost's secret nights with Jasmine, the late-night texts, the hotel receipts, the baby rumor that's got everybody gasping, and Yandy allegedly knew every single filthy detail and never said a word to her sister. Fans are already going crazy online. Comment sections exploding. Rasheeda did not come to play. Yandy's fake friendship exposed. Kirk really did my girl like that. Emotions are running so high right now that half the internet is crying. The other half is screaming for a reunion special tomorrow. But baby, this is only the first 5 minutes of the episode, and the twists that come after. Phew. Marriage is hanging by a thread, kids caught in the crossfire, million-dollar businesses on the chopping block, and a betrayal so deep it might split the entire cast forever? Are you breathing? Because the real chaos is just getting started. And trust me, by the time this episode ends, nothing will ever be the same in the ATL again. Stay locked in. The full breakdown is coming right now. As the camera zoomed in tight on the opulent Atlanta loft, the air crackled with pure electricity. When Rasheeda exploded across the room, her designer heels clicking like thunder and her finger jabbing straight at Yandy like a loaded weapon. You knew every single detail about Kirk and Jasmine. You sat in my house smiling, drinking my wine, and never once said a word. She screamed, her voice cracking raw with years of built-up pain while tears streamed down her flawless face, leaving mascara rivers that the producers knew would make perfect thumbnails. Yandy stood frozen for half a second, then threw her hands up defensively, her voice rising to match, "Girl, I swear on my kids I was trying to protect you." Kirk swore it was nothing, just business, and I didn't want to blow up your whole world, but Rasheeda wasn't hearing any of it. She slammed her Birkin bag on the marble table so hard the glasses rattled. "You protect me by hiding texts, hotel keys, and whispers about a possible baby. You call that sisterhood?" The entire cast gasped audibly. Mimi covered her mouth. Erica leaned forward, whispering, "Oh Lord, this is bad," while Safri just shook his head, knowing the storm was only starting. The flashbacks hit hard. Producers cut to grainy clips of Kirk sneaking out at midnight, Jasmine giggling in his passenger seat, stolen kisses in the back of the Maybach, and that damning hotel receipt timestamped exactly when Rasheeda was out of town shooting her fashion line. The room erupted again, Rasheeda pacing like a lioness. "You watched me plan our anniversary trip while you knew he was balls deep in lies, and you smiled bigger every time I bragged about my man." The betrayal cut so deep even the camera crew looked uncomfortable. One assistant whispered off, "Mike, we might need security." Personal stakes poured out fast. Rasheeda broke down about her empire, the kids who adore Kirk, the therapy sessions she paid for to save their marriage, all crumbling because her so-called bestie chose silence over truth. Yandy fired back, tears in her own eyes. "I lost sleep over this. I confronted Kirk myself. He promised me it ended last year, but then Jasmine started showing up at events, batting lashes and dropping hints. I was stuck between my girl and my loyalty to the crew." Emotions ran so high that Rasheeda actually grabbed Yandy by the shoulders, shaking her. "Tell me the truth right now. Did you sleep with him?" To the accusation hung heavy silence, thick enough to cut friends. Jumped in, Erica stood up. "Sis, you can't be throwing wild cards like that." But Rasheeda spun on her. "To everybody knew. Didn't they? The whole Atlanta knew my husband was creeping, and y'all let me look stupid on national TV. The family." Drama escalated when Rasheeda pulled out her phone, playing a voice note from her own mother, begging her to leave Kirk before he destroys the legacy they built together for the children. Voices cracked, kids' names dropped, little K and the twins' faces flashing on screen, making viewers at home clutch their hearts. Fans already flooding comments. "Rasheeda did not deserve this. Yandy is fake as hell." Twist number 1 dropped like a bomb. A producer signaled, and suddenly the big screen lit up with never-before-seen footage. Kirk and Jasmine in a heated motel argument, where Jasmine yells, "I'm tired of being your secret. Give me what you promised, or I'm telling Rasheeda everything." The clip ended with Kirk handing over cash and a kiss that looked way too familiar. Rasheeda collapsed into a chair, sobbing so hard her body shook. Yandy rushed to comfort her, but got pushed away hard. "Don't touch me, you enabled this monster." The room divided instantly, some cast members siding with Rasheeda, hugging her tight, others pulling Yandy aside, whispering, "You gotta explain yourself, sis." Before this ruins everything, betrayal layers peeled back further. Rasheeda revealed how Kirk had been draining their joint accounts, funneling money to Jasmine for shopping sprees in a secret condo. While Rasheeda slaved building her boutiques alone, the personal pain hit peak when she confessed, "I gave up my dreams for this man, carried his kids through scandals, and this is my reward." The cast was left divided. Mimi cried openly, remembering her own Kirk mess from seasons past. Erica texted her man under the table, warning him not to ever pull this, while the atmosphere thickened with accusations flying left and right. "You knew, and you still invited Jasmine to the cookout last month, Yandy. How could you?" Another emotional gut punch came when Rasheeda played a second clip this time. Yandy on a phone call laughing with Jasmine, saying, "Girl, just keep him happy until Rasheeda calms down." The audio was crystal clear and the betrayal exploded. A new Rasheeda lunged forward again. "You were laughing about destroying my family." The room chaos peaked, producers yelling cut, but nobody moved. Security stepped closer, ready to separate the women. Yet Rasheeda kept going, her voice hoarse but powerful. "I built you up, Yandy. I vouched for you when nobody else would, and you stabbed me in the back for what? Clout, ratings, money? Tell the truth right here, right now." Yandy finally cracked, dropping to the couch, head in hands. "Okay, fine. Parts of it are true. Kirk came to me crying about mistakes and Jasmine swore it was over. I thought if I stayed quiet, we could fix it as a unit. But I see now how wrong I was." The apology felt half-hearted, sparking more shouts from Rasheeda. "Fix it by lying to my face. That's your solution." The family was left divided, texts buzzing from outside cast members like Mama D calling in live demanding answers, and even Kirk himself blowing up Yandy's phone in the background, audible on mic, begging her to shut it down. Reactions poured in thick. Fans watching the live premiere were losing their minds. Twitter exploding with "Rasheeda is a queen for this Yandy friendship over" memes flooding everywhere. The kids' angle twisted the knife deeper. Rasheeda whispering through tears, "My babies ask about daddy every night. How do I explain this?" The stakes felt life or death, her business deals hanging by threads, sponsors pulling back already, whispers of canceled appearances, and the emotional toll showing in every quiver of her lip. Just as the argument reached fever pitch with Rasheeda demanding Yandy choose sides right there on camera, a new bombshell text message pinged on the group chat, visible to all. Jasmine herself writing, "Y'all can fight, but Kirk chose me months ago and the baby bump is real." The room froze once more, gasps louder than ever. Rasheeda, eyes widening in horror, while Yandy looked genuinely stunned for the first time. The first part of this premiere left everyone breathless, hearts pounding, wondering how much deeper the knife could twist, because the real secrets were still buried and the Atlanta streets were about to burn even hotter. With every passing second, the cast huddled closer, some crying, some plotting, some already dialing lawyers, but nobody could look away as the drama coiled tighter, ready to snap completely in the scenes still to unfold. The frozen silence after Jasmine's text message blast lasted maybe 3 seconds before the entire loft exploded into pure pandemonium. Rasheeda snatched her phone so fast it almost flew out of her hand, zooming in on the screen. "Baby bump is real." The words burned into her retinas while her chest heaved up and down like she'd just run a marathon. Yandy reached out instinctively. "Girl, wait, that could be a bluff," but Rasheeda whirled on, her eyes wild. "You think this is a game? Jasmine just admitted it on the group chat and you still defending Kirk after everything?" The cast scrambled. Erica jumped up, grabbing Rasheeda's arm. "Sis, breathe. We don't even know if it's true yet." Mimi was already dialing her own phone, muttering, "I knew that man was trifling," but a whole baby Safari sat back, arms crossed, shaking his head. "This why I stay single, y'all. Wild out here." The producers were yelling for calm, but nobody listened, cameras swinging wildly, catching every tear, every shout, every betrayal etched on faces that used to smile together at brunches and birthdays. Rasheeda's voice dropped low, dangerous now, pointing at the big screen where the text still glowed. "You knew about this, too, didn't you, Yandy? You've been playing both sides this whole time?" Yandy shook her head frantically. "No, Rasheeda, I swear on everything. I didn't know about no baby. Jasmine never said nothing like that to me. She was always talking future plans, vague stuff. I thought it was just talk." The excuse sounded weaker every second. Rasheeda laughed bitterly. "No tears left, just pure venom. Future plans. Meaning my husband raising another kid while mine call him daddy every night? You sat in my living room helping me pick out nursery colors for the twins, and you knew he was building one somewhere else." Flashbacks rolled again, this time slower, more cruel. Kirk at a jewelry store, buying 2 identical diamond necklaces, one for Rasheeda, one slipped into Jasmine's Purse at a private dinner, Yandy caught on camera laughing in the background saying, "Kirk, you wild for that." The clip ended with Jasmine whispering, "Thank you, baby, I can't wait to show our little one." The betrayal montage hit like punches. Rasheeda, covering her mouth, whispering, "No, no, no," over and over while the room watched her world shatter in real time. Personal stakes skyrocketed. Rasheeda started pacing again, voice rising with every step. "My brand, my boutiques, my collaborations, everything. I built from nothing while Kirk was out here playing house with the next chick, and you enabled it, Yandy. You posted pics of us as besties. Empowerment sisters, all that fake crap. Knowing my foundation was cracking, the hypocrisy stung deep. Fans watching were already screen recording every second. Twitter timelines flooded with receipts. Old clips of Yandy and Rasheeda hugging at award shows, captioned "Fake AF exposed, twist number 2. Landed harder than the first. The door to the loft swung open, and in walked Kirk himself, unannounced, looking guilty as sin, hoodie pulled low, but everybody recognized that walk instantly. The room went nuclear. Rasheeda charged forward. "You got some nerve showing up here after what just dropped." Kirk threw his hands up. "Baby, listen, Jasmine lying. She always dramatic, trying to get a check." Yandy stepped between them. "Kirk, don't even start. We all saw the text. Rasheeda deserves the truth. Right now." Kirk glanced at Yandy, betrayal flashing in his eyes. "You told them everything, didn't you? I trusted you to handle this quietly." Yandy flinched. "I didn't tell nobody. Jasmine did this herself." Kirk shook his head. "Nah, you've been whispering in Rasheeda's ear, planting seeds. Now you acting innocent." The accusation flipped the script again, Rasheeda looking between them. "Wait, so Yandy, you really were in the middle playing messenger?" This whole time emotions ran so high, Kirk started yelling at Yandy, "You supposed to be family? Why you let it get this far?" While Rasheeda screamed back at him, "You don't get to question her loyalty when you the one cheating, creating babies outside our home." Security finally moved in closer, but nobody backed down. Kirk tried to touch Rasheeda's arm. "Baby, let's talk private." She slapped his hand away hard. "Don't touch me. You lost that right when you started texting her 'Good morning, beautiful' while I was in labor with your son." The room gasped again, Mimi whispering, "Damn, he really did that." Erica nodding furiously, "Men ain't shit sometimes." The family drama deepened when Rasheeda pulled up old messages on the projector, her own words from months ago. "Kirk, I'm so happy we're finally healing. Please, don't hurt us again." The contrast to now was devastating. Tears flowed freely, even from cast members who swore they were done crying over Kirk Frost. Another layer peeled when Jasmine herself FaceTimed in on the group call, her face popping up large on screen, belly noticeably rounder now. "Y'all can keep fighting, but this baby coming in for months, and Kirk already signed the papers for the condo in my name." Rasheeda froze, staring at the screen. "You really pregnant?" Jasmine smirked a little. "Yeah, and he excited too. Unlike with you lately." The dig landed like a grenade. Rasheeda lunged toward the screen, screaming, "You homewrecking! I will bury you." But security caught her, pulling her back gently while Kirk yelled at Jasmine, "Hang up right now. This ain't the time." Yandy finally broke down, fully sobbing on the couch. "I never wanted this. I thought if I stayed quiet, the storm would pass. But now everybody's life ruined because of secrets." The confession sparked more chaos. Rasheeda, turning to her again, "So you admit it, you chose him over me?" Yandy shook her head. "No, I chose peace. But peace cost me my sister." The emotional conflict peaked, Rasheeda whispering, "Through fresh tears I trusted you with my darkest days, my fears, my kids, and you traded it for loyalty to a lying man." Friends' reactions poured out. Erica hugging Rasheeda tight. "We got you, sis. You not alone." Mimi pulling Yandy aside. "Girl, you gotta own this before it destroys you." To Safari, finally speaking up, "This why communication matters. Y'all keep secrets thinking it protects people, but it only makes the explosion bigger." The atmosphere thickened with unresolved pain, everybody looking at each other, wondering who else knew, who else stayed silent, just as things seemed to hit a boiling point where nobody could speak anymore without screaming another bombshell. Text hit, this time from Kirk's phone, visible because he dropped it in the chaos. Jasmine writing, "Baby, the DNA test came back. It's yours, 100%. The room collectively inhaled. Rasheeda's knees buckled. She grabbed the couch arm to stay upright while Kirk scrambled to pick up his phone, face ashen. "No, this can't be." Yandy staring at him. "You knew there was a test, didn't you?" Kirk stammered. I thought it was negative." The lie exposed again. Rasheeda laughed through her tears. "A broken sound. You really thought you could hide a whole child, Kirk? You really thought that the cast was left speechless, some crying openly, others shaking heads in disbelief. The betrayal so layered, so deep it felt impossible to climb out. Fans online were in meltdown mode. Hashtags like Justice for Rasheeda and Yandy exposed trending worldwide. People posting side-by-side pics of Rasheeda's happy family posts versus Jasmine's glowing pregnancy selfies. The divide was clear. Half the internet Writing for Rasheeda, calling her a survivor queen, the other half dragging Yandy for being a silent accomplice. The emotional toll showed everywhere. Rasheeda whispering to Erica, "I don't even know how to go home tonight. How do I look my kids in the face?" Mimi nodding, "I remember that pain too, sis. It gets better, but it hurts like hell first." The family fractured further when Kirk tried one last plea. "Rasheeda, please, for the kids, let's work this out." She looked at him dead in the eyes. "You lost the right to use our kids as shields when you started building another family." The rejection was final. Kirk, slumping defeated, while Jasmine stayed on the FaceTime, watching, smirking like she won the war as the cameras kept rolling, capturing every raw second. The question hung heavy. What happens now? Marriages, businesses, reputations, friendships, all dangling by threads, and with Jasmine's baby on the way, confirmed the Atlanta empire, built on love and hip-hop, felt like it was crumbling faster than anybody could stop. The drama was far from over. Secrets still buried, deeper twists waiting in the shadows, ready to detonate at any moment, leaving everybody breathless, waiting for the next bomb to drop. Because in this city, one lie always leads to 10 more, and tonight they all came crashing down at once. The loft felt smaller now, suffocating, with every secret spilling out like blood from an open wound. Kirk stood there looking smaller than he ever had, hoodie sleeves pulled over his fists, eyes darting between Rasheeda's broken stare, Jasmine's smirking FaceTime feed, and Yandy's tear-streaked face. Nobody spoke for a long beat. The only sound, the low hum of cameras still rolling, capturing what might be the end of an era in Atlanta reality TV. Rasheeda finally moved, first slow, deliberate steps toward Kirk until she was inches away, voice barely above a whisper. "You signed papers for her condo? You took DNA tests? You planned a future with another woman while telling me we were healing you? Looked me in my eyes every night and lied." The words landed soft, but they cut deeper than any scream. Kirk opened his mouth, but nothing came out, just a choked sound, like he was drowning in his own mess. Yandy tried to step in again. "Kirk, just tell her the whole truth. No more half stories. No more games." Kirk finally found his voice. "Rasheeda, it wasn't supposed to go this far. Jasmine and I. It was just fun at first. Stress relief when things got heavy at home, but then she got pregnant and I panicked. I thought if I handled it quietly, paid for everything, we could keep our family intact." Rasheeda laughed, a hollow sound that echoed off the walls. "Our family intact? You mean the one you were busy dismantling, piece by piece?" The cast watched in stunned silence, Erica whispering to Mimi, "This man really tried to play both sides. Like it's possible." Mimi nodding slowly, "I've been there, sis. The pain don't fade." Quick, Safari finally stood up, walking over to Kirk, putting a hand on his shoulder. "Bro, you gotta own this. Fully lying now just makes it worse for everybody." Kirk shrugged him off. "Don't lecture me, Safari. You ain't got kids. You don't know the pressure." That line ignited something new in Rasheeda, her eyes flashing fire. "Pressure? You talking about pressure while I carried your children, built businesses, kept sponsors happy, shielded your scandals from the kids? You talking about pressure to me, the mother who held everything together while you were out creating more chaos?" The room erupted again, shouts overlapping, accusations flying. Kirk yelling back, "I was trying to protect you from more hurt." Rasheeda screaming, "Protect me by hiding a whole baby?" Twist number 3 crashed in like a wrecking ball. Jasmine still on. It made the confrontation feel less like drama and more like a breaking point. Yandy listened, her expression softer now but still guarded. She did not interrupt this time. When Rasheeda finished, there was a brief pause that felt different from the others. It was quieter, more reflective, as if both of them realized how far things had gone. But even in that moment, there was no clear resolution. Yandy finally spoke again, her voice calmer, saying that she understood where Rasheeda was coming from, but that she also needed her to see things from her perspective. She insisted that she had not acted out of malice, and that she had never intended to disrespect her. It was an attempt to find some middle ground, but it did not fully close the gap between them. Rasheeda nodded slightly, but it was not agreement. It was acknowledgement. She made it clear that words alone would not fix things, and that actions moving forward would matter more than anything said in that moment. The conversation slowly came to an end, but the tension remained. It lingered in the room, in the way people avoided certain topics, in the way glances were exchanged when names like Kirk and Jasmine came up again. Nothing had truly been settled. As everyone began to move on, it was clear that this confrontation would have lasting effects. Relationships had been tested, trust had been questioned, and lines had been drawn in ways that could not easily be undone. And that is exactly why this moment stands out, because it was not just about one argument. It was about everything leading up to it, and everything that will follow after. Now here's the real question. Was Rasheeda right to finally speak up the way she did, or did things go too far in the heat of the moment? And what about Yandy? Was she truly caught in the middle, or did she play a bigger role than she is willing to admit? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this situation is far from simple, and every perspective adds something new to the conversation. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into the biggest moments from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. There is a lot more coming and you do not want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned because this story is not over.